Thank you very much for that, Alex. And it is a pleasure to be here at Kampala Sunrise here today, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you may be. I know it's the morning over there. And today we're going to be doing an evaluation workshop, which is what I agreed to with Alex a few weeks ago because we met at a club in Indonesia, of all places. So some of the understandings of what we're going to get out of this workshop, understanding the basic elements of an evaluation and understanding how to use evaluation effectively. So we're going to recognize the importance of evaluations for both members and the audience. We're not going to look at the judge's ballot because I do this as a two-part workshop just due to timing. We will look at the first component. I want to ask all of you, if you could put in the chat box, please, how do you feel about evaluations? Confident, hesitant? So I'll get you guys to use the chat box, or if someone wants to yell out, if they're feeling confident and hesitant, please put it into the chat box because we really want to see participation today. So type in confident or hesitant. Hesitant. Awesome. I'll continue on. So this is how Toastmasters International defines evaluation. So it says evaluation is the heart of the Toastmasters International Educational Program. You observe the speeches and leadership roles of your club and your fellow members, so club of your club and fellow members, and offer evaluations for their efforts, and they do the same for you. So as an evaluator, you're asked for those who have been assigned to evaluate what they'll present and what they wish to achieve. Provide objective verbal and written evaluations for speakers. When giving an evaluation, you offer praise as well as constructive criticism. I find this very long-winded, and I also find it quite negative, especially the final component of the last line of the paragraph, constructive criticism. So I like to break it down to be a little bit more inspiring and motivating. For me, it's a gift to a speaker and the audience. So when we present the gift to the audience or the receiver, offer it with a purpose and the opportunity to be inspired, to develop, to transform, and to grow. So these are some of my tips for evaluation. So I am quite critical when it comes to evaluation. I've judged at the World Championship of Public Speaking, the semifinals last year. So I'm looking at it from a judge's point. I'm also looking at it from a very technical point. So when we need to review the purpose statement, what is the objective of the speaker's speech? That's one of the most important parts. What is the purpose statement? What are we asking of the speaker? Ask the speaker what they want to get out of this speech. What do they want to achieve? What do they want to get from your feedback so that they can work on those improvements? It's not about today. It's not about yesterday. It's about the future. And if you go to an evaluation contest, if you read the judges' criteria, it's about how they can grow and develop for the future. Contact your speaker if you know at least 1 week in advance from the presentation and find out, have that conversation. Hey, we're a communication organization. Let's have that conversation and work out what we can do to help them achieve. Another one is show you are interested. How many of you have ever seen in a speech that you just absolutely hated? Put it in the chat box why, if you've seen a speech that you just did not enjoy. I go through this constantly. I've been at Toastmasters meetings all this week. And I can tell you, I heard 2 this week that I just did not want to hear, but I had to show that I was interested. So our role is not to sit here and to actually focus on the actual content itself. We're here to assist and guide the speaker. We can help them with regards to the content of placement of content in the speech. We can't criticize their actual content. So it's about helping the speaker develop and have that personal growth and that improvement. So focusing entirely on the speaker in the presentation for that allocated time, 5 to 7 minutes. Another one is the use of language. So a lot of people are quite negative, and especially when they're delivering their evaluation, they don't personalize it. Evaluation is something that has to touch the heart, not only of the speaker, but also the audience. You need to think about how you're going to deliver it and personalize it. So think about what I saw, what I heard, and what I felt. Evaluation is not just about the speaker, it's actually also about the audience. This is a growth opportunity for the audience to take away from the evaluation. So I always recommend to speak in the third person. And when I evaluate, I always just speak in the third person. I say the speaker's name or the speaker. So if Alex was the speaker, I say, Alex did this, Alex did that. So I don't actually influence and make sure that I'm actually being positive towards Alex. And I also include all the group because this is feedback and this is a growth opportunity for everyone. It's about promoting self-esteem. You don't know where people have been that particular day when they're providing their speech. So I'm always here to say, encouraging the speaker and reminding them they are not alone on this journey. They are here with you and they are here to be improving. So thinking about being inspirational and leaving the speaker feeling empowered and challenged. Remove words like should, but, and however. These words are considered quite negative to the ear, especially in Western society. If I said should have done this, now think about this. You've set up the evaluation. You've done this wonderful feedback. I really enjoyed this speech, but you've just completely wiped out all the positives that you've given to this wonderful person with their speech. And this might be their icebreaker. And you said, but think about how you actually propose or how you're going to actually transition or bridge into that recommendation. I would say, instead of saying but, I would say, I would like to encourage or for the speaker to consider enhancing their speech. See how I've just challenged the words, changed it around. I've used positive words which have good positive connotations rather than negative connotations. So thinking about how you actually add value. So commendation, commendation, recommendation, recommendation, and how you bridge between the two is up to you. But I would suggest playing around with it, but don't use the word but, should, or however, because it doesn't really send a good message. And if you're in a contest, you will completely be brought down with the judging profile at that contest. These are the 6 types of common evaluation, which I've seen all around the world. There's actually really 6. The glove method. So you have your hand, gestures, language, organization, vocal variety, and eye contact. It's really interesting, but it's a very basic way of delivering a speech. So you pull the glove off and you rip it apart and you deliver. The next one is one I absolutely hate with a passion. I'm going to explain why. Acronyms. An acronym will create the speaker's presentation. So the speaker evaluator will create the presentation around an acronym. So I'll give you an example of one that I heard. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you an acronym today for Alex. Aloha. A is for awesome. L is for lovely. O is for, I'm trying to think of saying outstanding. H is for honorable and A is for amazing. Where does that really come from? Whereas if I use the sandwich method, I say, today, Alex gave us a speech that inspired us and took us and blew us away as he traveled and gallivanted across the stage. I want to encourage Alex by, see how I'm actually not using acronym? In the boardroom, you would not go up to the CEO or the company secretary and say, you are an aloha. It just doesn't sound professional, ladies and gentlemen. It really doesn't. So think about with the sandwich method, opening body, two commendations, 2 recommendations, and then close the evaluation. The next one is the 3-2-1 method. And this is one of my favorite techniques, but you need to be quite experienced with this style of speaking. So my suggestion is it's a 3-2-1 method. So it's an augmentation of the sandwich. So you have 3 points of positivity, so 3 points of commendation, 2 points of improvement, and then you really praise 1 overall point for the speaker. It is good in an evaluation contest, but if I was to go into an evaluation contest, I would use the sandwich method, because if you read the judges' criteria, sandwich method makes the most sense. The next one is the chronological method, where you start from the start to finish and you touch on the highs and the low points throughout the speech. This is a really interesting way, and this is something I would recommend for the more advanced evaluators to think about. So it's chronological order, opening, body, close, and pulling points from the opening, the body, and the close. It does take a lot of time and a lot of effort to understand this style, but I actually do encourage and praise this one as well. And the ground up method is you work from the ground and you work all the way up. So you start from progressing from the more complex to the more subtle elements and focusing on that. So visual aids being introduced in the speech, gestures, vocal variety, the grammarian. If you're a grammarian, you find the grammar, the vocab, and then the delivery. So interesting method, but if I was going to go into a contest, I would use sandwich method, 3-2-1 method, and chronological method, making sure that you do also have a summary at the end. So the purpose, what is a purpose? This is something that we are taught in Australia. If you don't have a purpose, you're failing to evaluate. So all speeches will have a general and specific purpose. General, as it says here on the screen, it's a broad intent and will typically fall into one of 4. Inform, persuade, entertain, and inspire. If you're on the old Toastmasters manuals on the traditional system, there was a whole speech delivering with a purpose. And there is now also in level 1 in pathways. So looking at that, what is the purpose of the speech? Specific purpose is what the speaker wants to the audience to understand after listening to their speech. I always define a purpose because that can also be a point for recommendation or something that I can commend the speaker on. And usually a speaker will have at least 2 or 3 purposes in their speech, but usually they'll have a main purpose, and it will usually be either to persuade or inform. Entertaining speeches are rare, and inspiring speeches and motivational speeches are for the international speech contest. Just some tips. Why do we look for a purpose? Because in Pathways, it asks you, what is the purpose? If you look at all the purpose statements in Pathways, the purpose of this project is to inspire. The purpose of this project is to persuade. Is it an informational speech? Understanding that will actually help with the delivery of the speech. And then here are some of the contents. If you're going into the contest, if you actually read the judge's ballot on the back, 35 marks is allocated in the humorous speech to purpose. 65 marks is allocated to the table topics, which is you really need to understand why you need to give a purpose to a speech. International speech, 45 marks is allocated to the purpose of an international speech. It's really important to understand what purpose am I delivering? Is my audience understanding and connecting with my speech? These are some of the things that we need to avoid when we're doing our speeches. The whitewash. You're such an awesome speaker, Alex. The speech was perfect, Alex. See how I'm just like completely whitewashing Alex? What a great speech, Alex. I just can't find anything for you to improve, Alex. I'm really struggling here, Alex. Or if I could recommend something minor, Alex. See how I'm just like completely whitewashing the situation? You want to try and keep it balanced. The laundry list is where we just have negativity. We don't want to have that. And of course, what we need to avoid in evaluation, the use of the language, as I said before, the should, but, however, speaking in the first and second person, the you. Speaking in third person is inviting and also very honest to the speaker, and cliche sentences as well. Tonight, I had the pleasure of evaluating. What happens if they don't come back to Toastmasters, or what happens if they get hit by a bus? I'm just being absolutely honest and upfront here. I look forward to hearing your next speech. We may not see that person again. Point for improvement, my biggest pet hate. What a great speech we heard tonight. It could be the world's worst speech. We don't want to tell them that they're a great speech. We want to just encourage them and say, thank you for your speech. You don't need to tell them that it was a great speech, because I'm sick of hearing that cliche. To take this speech to the next level, what is the next level? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? What is the next level? I'm still trying to define what is the next level. I'm going to stop the evaluation here, the workshop, and I'm going to ask, does anyone have any questions on evaluation? This is quite technical, I do appreciate. It was probably at another level of evaluation, but that is what I'm looking for when I'm evaluating, when I deliver an evaluation. I want to see pretty much an opening. I want to see what is the speaker, like I will always capture what the speaker has done. If they're talking about rainbows, I'm going to say, wasn't it a beautiful kaleidoscope of color that the rainbow that our speaker painted tonight? The purpose of this speech is, and then I'll go into the evaluation. 2 commendations, 2 recommendations, and of course, the final, the summary. So that is evaluations. I don't know if there's any time for questions, but I'm going to hand back over to Alex. Thank you, Alex, for having me here at Uganda Sunshine or Sunrise. Thank you.
Wow. A round of applause for Alicia. Everyone, if you can kindly unmute even. Let's give her an Ugandan ululation. Ululu. Thank you very much.
Ululu.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alicia. Such a ride, so much information in such a short time. We wish we had a whole day for Alicia. But members, when she spoke, did you have anything you felt like you want clarification of? Did she get you thinking? Would you want to ask her a question? This is your moment. If you have anything or any contribution to her slides, this is your moment. Don't be shy, raise your hand or just unmute and speak out. She's taking all questions. I see Godfrey. Godfrey, go for it.
Yes, my hands are up. Yes, it's not a question, it's a comment. I think she just gave me evaluations. She just gave me a sort of like the answers. Now I'm going back to setting the questions and then also doing some bit of self-evaluation. And to be honest with you members, I'm not one of the greatest. I'm not really very good at speeches, and that's why I was looking very much forward to joining this group to see how to improve myself. And I also wish to say that I'm not one of the best leaders. So, and when I heard about the leadership aspect, I said, let me look for them, and I'm really grateful for that, and I'm looking forward to probably if this can be shared at some point for me to keep checking on myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Godfrey has a comment. Yeah, and yeah, one thing is that everything we do at Toastmasters is transferable outside Toastmasters in our workspaces as we lead our teams. How do you give feedback to your team? And I liked how Alicia said that an evaluation is a gift. Look at it as a gift. You are looking to empower someone with your feedback, and show interest is what I took out. And I liked her list of negative words we shouldn't use in Toastmasters, and also the cliche words we've been using a lot as we take the speech to the next level. What's the next level? I thought you were really talking about me because I'm so used to that. Or next time you come back, we might not see you again. So really quite awakening this morning to most of us on the call. Yeah, and my biggest takeaway is that next time I'm evaluating, it's what I see, what I feel, and what I hear. I'm going to use that. There's a hand on the call, Kevin. Kevin, it's your moment.
Thank you, Alex. And I'd just like to also make a comment. I'd like to thank Alicia for everything she has helped clarify and demystify for me personally, in terms of evaluation. And I think she has given a good path in terms of an objective approach. I still feel that there's a lot of work to be done in terms of practically applying what she has just taken us through. But I'd just like to also thank her as well. Over to you, Alex.
Amazing, amazing. Drissa Soro?
Yes, thank you, Alex. I would like to thank Alicia for this. It was really a condensed speech with presentation with a lot of information, and this is not the whitewashing, it's real. What I would like to say is it possible to share this presentation, because there is a lot of content in it, and it would be good to go through it again. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll definitely pass that on to Alex. I will try and see, because it is quite wordy. But evaluation from where I come from in Australia, we're quite technical. If you hear the Australian evaluators, it's very technical. We have like writing. So I will try and see if I can break it down a little bit more and not have too much words, but I'll definitely provide the slides for you guys. And I'll also provide the slides for if you're going in the evaluation contest. I'll give you that portion as well. I just wanted to give you the basics of evaluation tonight, because I know it can be difficult, but thank you so much for your feedback.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Drissa. There are comments in the chat. Geraldine says, thank you. The whitewash statements that got her. It's so easy to use them. I agree with you, and I won't struggle to not use them again. DY says that the most common phrase, great speech, is learn to stick to the facts and not just whitewash the speakers. Thank you, Alicia. And members, guess what? We have a recording for this session, so we'll probably chop it up and package it. If it's okay with you, Alicia, we will upload it on our YouTube channel for members to keep getting back to it. Alicia agrees. So that's another gift for us this morning. Thank you very much, Alicia. Alicia, if you have any closing remarks, please take it away.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone. Alex and I met at a club in Indonesia about 2 or 3 weeks ago called Trainers and Coaches Advance. And he was like, can I have you come to my club in Uganda? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Because I know District 114 quite well because of Emilia, your lovely district director, who I'm quite friendly with. And I love to talk about evaluations. And this is my first workshop in almost about 12 months. I've done this workshop in 12 months. So I don't get to talk about it as much these days because I'm so busy as a program quality director. And this is my passion. This and table topics are my 2 passions in Toastmasters when it comes to the club meetings. So I'm all ears for evaluation and being better evaluators and making people more technical and understanding that gift that we can give another person. Thank you, Alex. It's been a pleasure to come here.
Thank you, Alicia. We can't thank you enough for agreeing to come here. Yes, we met around the world. Toastmasters is such a small world. I encourage all of you members to really keep visiting because we get to meet many amazing people like Alicia. And if you don't mind, Toastmasters, I know we're driving to work. Some of us are still getting up, but let's turn on our videos so that we can have an amazing picture. If we can capture this moment, it would be nice. So if you can turn on your video, I know some people had the videos on already earlier, like Adrissa, Agnes. If you can all turn on your videos, those who can, and we capture this moment. Yes, thank you for those videos. Keep them coming if you can. Nice. Thank you, Maria. We have a photographer in the house, Annie. Annie, do you have the shot already? I guess she's born ready. Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Alicia, before you go, we have a gift for you because
Thank
everything
you.
at Toastmasters we like sharing, and here we go.
That's so lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Alicia Curtis, distinguished Toastmaster, for such a wonderful educational moment, for turning up as an educational speaker at Kampala Sunrise Toastmasters Club with your title, Effective Evaluation.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It has been a pleasure. I haven't been to Uganda for about a year, so it's really lovely to be here with all of you this morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Thank you so much.